I did the old one more lap. You never say that.
You never want that to happen to somebody.
It was chaos.
If it's 90 or 100 outside, it's 30, 40 degrees hotter in the car.
This is what the commitment is really all about.
Everything that could happen did happen.
Clint, are you okay? Clint, are you okay?
Coming off Atlanta, a few little fixes. I thought we had the bugs worked out. We still have some bugs that we're kind of dealing with.
The first one we went to was Hyperfest. We were still having the belt issue there. Then we went to IFO. We didn't have any belt problems there, so that was good. And then we did Grid Life Midwest. I blew up the green car that's behind me. We didn't have any problems with the purple car, so good for the purple car, not for that one. After getting everything kind of settled, I was super happy with everything. I was pretty excited to go into Englishtown.
Welcome, everybody. We're talking about E-Town, baby.
We had driven there a couple times before. I was pretty excited to drive with all the homies again and hopefully kick some ass.
You're not allowed to drive on an FD track and do testing like 2 weeks out of competition. So on the very last day before that timeline, I'm putting everything I got into this program and I was gonna be there. I had done my first chase and lead. And I was like, I'll be fine doing one more entry. I was planning to shut it down after entry and not do the full lap. Never again. That was probably the hardest crash I've had in over a decade.
I'm good. Car's not good. Maybe I shouldn't have done that.
Before I even bought the car, was crashed in that same corner. So this one just really did a number on the chassis. Between the frame shop, Alberto made it happen, got it straight enough. It definitely was not perfect going into E-Town. And my first 2 laps before loading it into the trailer for E-Town felt amazing. I was so pumped to just get to E-Town, continue building upon where we left off, and have a good weekend.
Englishtown, they call that.
The gauntlet. Kind of medieval, right? Like
Big time.
It's a
Actually paved around a drag strip. So you have a concrete strip that goes down the middle. Coming into the first corner, you can almost not see the second corner. And then you have the different surface changes between the asphalt and then the concrete back to asphalt.
You know, everybody pushes how hard they go.
E-Town here in New Jersey is probably one of my favorite tracks.
Corey Talaska unanimously gets the win and conquers the Dragon.
I'm Corey Talaska. I've been racing with my family for the last 24 years. Unlike a lot of the other tracks that are a lot more linear, where if you get gapped or lose any space, you're done. So Jersey is like a driver's track where you can make a mistake, you can do something really cool, you can catch back up, you can fall behind. It's a very dynamic track.
There really wasn't a ton of pressure going into practice because we weren't in seating this time.
Downsides of seating is points never really justify it.
You want to be the rookie that is in seating, and then after that, you just want to be in the show.
That is a little more comfortable, a little more relaxing for everybody. There's no anxious rush on Thursday. It makes practice a little more casual because you're not worrying about, hey, am I going to make the show? Because you get bumped out in seating, you don't even make it to 32.
Going right into practice, I think people realized really fast that I had one of the quicker cars around the track. I really was working on chasing other people as good as I can and adapting. And going into the battle with Sam, I was not expecting his car to be as fast as it was.
Collect copy.
Copy.
The first corner, and I let him get away from me a little bit. But after that, I was able to reel him in and then get a much better chase for the rest of the lap.
Hey, good job getting away from that. That was a good start, but yeah, he let you see.
Little sketchy.
I need to dial up my chase, and that's been my biggest weak point.
Oh, so
One
split
more?
decision.
All
So
right.
that will be a OMT.
When you get a one more time, the judges feel that both of you either did just as good as each other or messed up just as much as each other, and they want to see you guys do it again.
Let's get some fresh tires on the car. Let's clean up our mistakes. Now we know what's coming.
I think we had a 4-hour break, and it doesn't necessarily do anything great for us drivers.
I am the emotional support.
All right, girl, it's your time to shine. Let's get after it.
Got it.
God damn, girl. Ripper, let's fucking go. That's the top 16, guaranteed.
So Colette Davis gets the victory. Colette advances on.
I was feeling great and finally committing behind people. That's always been my goal.
Kelly Hansen, Carson Ruger.
It's definitely a scary thing to see happen.
It's racing, there's risk.
That's the thing, but she's okay, thank God. But wow.
Going into the Gambler, I think it just kind of turns things up a notch when you add all those different elements.
Haha, weather. It's no joke. If it's 90 or 100 outside, it's probably 120, 140 in the car.
And then there was this huge power outage throughout the whole town. We were kind of just chilling out. I was looking at the radar. Maybe we should make sure our shit's not gonna fly away.
Oh my God!
The people next to us had 3 tents go up over their trailer. Somebody's huge 55-gallon drum of fuel was holding their tent down and it got picked up, and that's 400 or 500 pounds worth of fuel. The entire side of the pro side was even worse. I mean, they had the Toyota booth collapsed. I know Odie's whole awning got blown off and was sending cinder blocks. If we'd have been a minute or two late, we'd have probably lost our canopies. From that to then the next day, it was weird. Cotty's one of my hometown buddies out of St. Louis. I'm about an hour from there. We've been driving together since 2018. So watching my buddy Colin and my buddy Cotty go head to head, I was conflicted. I don't want to see my friends go head to head in top 32. I want us to be in top 8, top 4.
Yeah, Dempster just called the run.
I got told that he's going to be NA. So he was out there at like 500 horsepower while I was at like 950.
Cotty having a weekend, fighting the car. Colin, I think, talked to him before the 32 and said, just so you don't be aggressive on me, I'm going to let you know I have an issue so there's less carnage.
All over the place, gets in the turn.
So after the second zone, I was already in the trailer like, all right, we made it.
Top 16, baby!
Colin took it like a grain of salt. You know, I'm going to be there, but, you know, I'm going to give you your space. And then Colin didn't give him any space. He's on the door all the way around the track. Never want to win that way. Obviously, you always want to have a clean battle.
Colin did his thing, got through 32, then we move on to 16.
Main goal for the weekend is obviously do as best as I can, but get into top 16.
My name's Michael. Spotting was never something I actually wanted to do. I always wanted to drive. I always had a ton of fun driving. Where I found out I wanted to be a spotter is helping people. And that's where I found a lot of passion. We're going into Friday. We're in the show. We're ready to go. Our first battle is Adam. He's a ripper. All his cars look sweet, and he just drives hard. He's a great driver, and he is going to push, and we're going to have to do the same.
Watching his previous laps, his car wasn't as fast as mine, and going into our first battle, he definitely drifted up. Again, I was kind of caught off guard and had to make some adjustments.
And then we went into our lead run, and Colette has heaters of lead runs. And Adam, I don't know if he was expecting her car to be a little slower on initiation, or if he was just driving so hard to try to stay with her, but he made a huge correction in the chase lane going into outer zone 1. He washed off track a little bit. It's so hard to catch that back up. And that was enough to seal our deal to put us into our first Formula Drift Pro Spec Top 16.
First ever 16 ceremony, driving out Team Fitment side by side.
We were just hanging out at the top 16 ceremony with everybody.
Colette Davis. And another Fitment Industries vehicle, Colin Zielinski.
Making top 16 in Formula Drift is no easy feat. There's a huge road that leads to this.
It was just a really surreal and rewarding experience.
Top 16, second time in a row, which is great. I expect nothing less.
That second day, going into the main comp, something unlocked in me in the car.
She chases him down into that last outside zone.
This is really the first event where I feel like my chasing just skyrocketed.
Look at Colette, she's fired up, establishing dominance there. She's ready to go.
At that point, going in, knowing that I have to drive as hard as I can and try and fix any mistakes that I made previously and get better and better on my leads. That was the objective.
The big thing I like to focus on is progression. It's not easy to hop into Formula Drift and just go for the win. You need to take those steps, knowing that what we're working for is working and how hard we're pushing is worth it. So now it's time to battle.
All right, Nick Jimenez, Colette Davis. Jimenez will lead, and Colette Davis chasing him down.
This should be a good one.
You know what you got to do. Let's just focus on your transition timing. Stay with him.
Nick initiates, Colette tries to tuck in. She came on the outside and then works her way on in.
I made a pretty big mistake in the chase going into outer 2.
Colette dives into the inside. Now coming in that inside clip.
Focus on your transition timing. Just follow where he goes.
Jimenez dials it in. Well done.
I was just caught off guard, trying to overcorrect or doing something weird.
We knew we're going to have to push and push and push in order to make these wins.
All right, that was a pretty good chase. Let's lay down a heater right now. Remember, focus on the point.
I think Colette's really got to step up here and put down a really solid, dominant run here. That's what she wanted.
All right, that was an excellent lead. That's exactly what you wanted it to do. We'll see where it lands.
There was even faults, lead and chase on both ends. They felt we had a better chase and Nick had a better lead.
It evened out and we got a one more time. You don't want one more times. I really want to stop getting through on like winning the second battle. I want to get it done in the first one. My goal was just to make it a lot more clear and drive harder, not make the same mistakes in the chase, and then do obviously the best lead that I could.
Let's get some fresh tires on the cars. Let's clean up our mistakes. Now we know what's coming.
So I went out top 16 leading against Nate Chen. He's a good driver. He drives her all the time. Maybe a little bit of a disadvantage to me.
He's got 20 times the laps on that track than Colin does, if not more. We have to put it on him. We had a little bit of an over-centering on the tire. The rest of the zones he did really good in, and then they flip it. Nate goes first.
How hard do I gotta go?
Hard. Don't let him get away.
I definitely could have chased harder. I got told he did good behind me, so I was like, okay, I should be able to go like 90%. I don't need to be in his car the entire lap.
It was definitely a really good battle. You know, the judges were saying they were splitting hairs, but everyone's going to have their own takes and everyone's going to judge differently. And I could see pros and cons to both, you know, our chase and his chase and our lead and his lead.
They probably sat him at the line waiting for a decision for a good couple of minutes. And we wound up getting bumped out in 16. I have to go back and look at it to see Nate was probably a little deeper here, a little deeper there, or a little closer here, or a little closer there. When you get to this level, that's what they're doing.
It is what it is. We'll get him next time. I think the best part about that battle is people know that we can go head to head with Nate and pretty much be right there.
But that was a good battle. It was good. I mean, it was good. It could have went either way. Yeah. You both had
Him being slower to our advantage.
Going into that battle, I was just feeling great after one of the best chases I've ever done. So it was like, let's go.
Nick Jimenez comes out. Little hiccup there. You see that? Yeah.
We will make up the room in outer zone 2. We are a lot faster.
Again, she adapted really well.
Really in the lead, I'm focusing on myself and I'm just gonna lay down the best lead that I can. That's just something I'm working on in general. Just always keeping my foot down. I mean, there's obviously nothing you can do when someone in the chase has that bit of a speed differential. As a lead driver, you're focusing on your own thing.
All right, we have time to make up. We got this. Nice and smooth. Let's get after it.
Here we go, Colette Davis now out front. You can see the accelerate lights are on. Going right into that first outside zone. She hits it, quits it.
What came next is something I don't think any of us expected.
Both the drivers kind of navigating.
Just out of nowhere, just.
Whoa, boy!
Jeez, come on.
The moment he transitioned, you could hear it in all of our voices. We knew he was in the wrong spot. He knew he was in the wrong spot.
It felt like it happened, honestly, in slow motion. In most accidents, I usually try and drive out of them. You're not supposed to. You're supposed to take your hands off the wheel. This was the first crash that I ever mummied myself for. At that point, I knew I was just along for the ride and going into that wall, up the wall. I didn't know really what was gonna happen.
Colette, are you okay? Colette, are you okay?
What happened? What? Because Colette, she was very transparent about figuring out that initiation.
People were asking if I was okay, and I'm like, I don't want to go crazy on the radio right now.
Definitely gonna take a minute.
I was fine. The last thing I was thinking about was myself as I'm just sideways on this wall. I'm so mad.
Fine, we had it. Like, this was it. I'm so f***ing pissed.
I stayed in the car for a while to compose myself. I was just really frustrated about the car, devastated for the team. It all dawned on me that this was probably really bad and we were more than likely not going to make it back out.
Man, I'm pissed. It just sucks. It sucks so bad. Like, I felt like we had that.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. Yeah. That would have ended so much.
In that moment, I was like, there's no way that just happened. Because we were doing so good. We were pushing so hard.
This has nothing to do with momentum. This is just wrong place, wrong time, too aggressive. Well, let's make it official. Colette Davis does get the victory. Such a bummer. Would love to see her compete and move on. Yeah. I don't know if there's enough time.
We ended up winning that battle due to Nick's error in the chase, and we made it again to our first top 8. The bad side about it was the car was totaled. We had a huge undertaking of what we had to replace on the car in a very short period of time. I start calling over to the team.
All right, car is getting lifted off the wall right now. Left front definitely is toasted. Grab all left front parts. Let's grab right front parts as well.
So they start getting the fronts together. Colette gives me a call once she gets out of the car and says, I think the rear's good. We can do this.
Colette was looking underneath of it. The rear of the car doesn't look too bad.
Since we were in top 8, there's only 2 battles ahead of us. And before you know it, you're supposed to be on the line. And we had to rebuild an entire car.
There will be extra hands if anyone needs help. Chris Knapp has some guys going down to help out right now.
So we had all the pieces ready. The tow truck pulled the car back and the guys started jamming.
When we got back to our pits, it was wild. It was like so many other teams were offering help, coming over.
Raise it up in the air, make sure it's up. We'll hang tight. You guys need help? We're here. We'll help.
Probably 200 great fans supporting the team, other teams coming to the rescue.
What's even more incredible too is like Dimitri. I have him the next battle. And literally Dimitri is over there in my pits offering parts off of his car for us to get my car back together to then go battle him.
I need an intercooler and a radiator.
I can take it off my patrol car, and if we can zip tie it somehow. You want to go through that? Okay. With the hose clamps and everything, just in case. There may be any down pipes and stuff like that, get it. Go back to my peaceful vehicle. Anything else?
It was a great feeling knowing the person that we were going to battle didn't want the easy way out. He knows he can drive, he knows she could drive, and he wanted a good battle.
And then rear arms, suspension.
Like Dimitri's doing everything. He wants to battle you the right way.
Unfortunately, Dimitri didn't make it to the line in time. We were all still jamming on our car, and that's when the nerves started hitting.
Five has started!
You see that timer start ticking. 5 minutes when you're on that side of the timer goes lightning fast.
My team was thrashing, rolling on the ground, getting parts, like trying to source parts. Even the track owners were bringing over a frame rig to pull the car if we needed to pull it before going back on track.
2 minutes! Right here, here's the car! Coming down!
And at one point, it was like 35 seconds left. Wow, we're about to do this. Colette's getting suited and booted. I hear her come over the radio. This is go time.
We did end up making the car roll again, and we made it back in the burnout box. I think that in itself just speaks volumes, one, for my incredible team and the support we got from some other teams and people as well.
1 in 10 minutes because of
what's happening?
The chassis is so twisted that you can only get away with so much. You know, part of the game. You win some, you lose some.
the
front end is still something
out of there.
And we won that one. The car got put back down. She drove it to the box, and everyone put their best effort in, and can't be upset about that.
It was tough to end that way, but I think persevering and pushing through, getting the car moving, I was gonna drive it. I was gonna drive it if I could, just peel it out in the burnout box and go for it. So you never know what can happen.
FD and drifting in general, the only motorsport that somebody like Colette can crash and you get that kind of sportsmanship.
It's so amazing seeing everybody come together. The community is so tight-knit that at the end of the day, if we battled, we're still having fun. You'll never see this in any other paddock anywhere.
They're the most hardworking, tenacious, amazing people who deeply care about everybody around them. There's this energy too that just fuels all of us. You look around at this guy, and they're working so hard that if you're tired, it doesn't even matter because you all just keep going, you know? So it's really inspiring.
I am so grateful to be involved in this sport. At this level, at grassroots level, you'll see the same vibes everywhere. And I think that's what makes drifting stand out a lot more compared to other motorsport. Even at the top level with so much on the line, there's other teams that are gonna be willing to help you get through.
I've been involved in the sport for 22 years, and never in my wildest dreams would I have imagined that it would be the way that it is right now. Never did I imagine that it would have an impact on industry in the way that it has. And so what I've seen with the sport is a very progressive and healthy incline to kind of where it is now. That's just crazy to me and not the reason why we started doing this, but it's obviously one of the things that makes it so special.
St. Louis is fast, a lot of walls.
It's not the hardest track in the world, but it's pretty technical. You're flying in the first outer zone, and then the next one's pretty much a hairpin on the wall.
It kind of goes from a tight slow to a fast back to slow.
It's a lot like Englishtown. It's unforgiving. You get into the wall, you're done.
Will he do good there? I don't see why not. You just got to get the car set up and then figure it out on the practice laps.
At New Jersey, I didn't realize the extent of the damage and how bad it was until we got back to the shop. And once the car was on a lift and we got a closer look, it was really obvious that there's just no going back. Like, chassis was completely done. Unfortunately, my first ever FD chassis is getting an early retirement. We made the decision, we're reshelling the car. We're gonna do it as fast as I can. Our goal is to do it in a week, complete rebuild from a car being abandoned in a field to pro Formula Drift ready drift car. We've had some amazing people come on board to reach that goal, and hopefully we'll make it in time.